What does it actually take to build lean and powerful muscle mass with kettlebells? And why do 97% of all men who attempt to do so fail? In today's video, I'll give you the one tip that'll never let you down in this pursuit and the 6 reasons most fail before ever standing a chance. And just because I never want to get in the habit of preaching the gospel of gains without first showing you that I lead by example, if you stick around to the very end of this video, I'll also show you a quick, simple, intense, and most importantly, effective lower body routine that'll build you stacks on stacks of diesel-powered mass. Before we dive into and unpack all of these goodies though, make sure that if you haven't already signed up to start the Kettlebell Warrior 30-Day Challenge for free, you do so by registering for it on either the first link you see in the description box or the pinned link at the top of the comment section down below. Once you've registered, you'll get free instant access to a month's worth of follow-along workouts led by yours truly, a sample diet and supplements plan, and the support of other participants, members, and coaches who will help hold your ass accountable to making daily winning decisions that help you achieve your physique goals. So to register for free, just click on either one of those links down below and we'll get you started up on this kick-ass program today. Now, back to today's subject matter. By granting you access actually to the Kettlebell Warrior 30-Day Challenge, I'm essentially going to be giving you one half of the blueprint for success in how to make fast, dramatic, and sustainable lean mass gains by way of using kettlebells. That's the know-how part of the equation. The other half is simply matching that newfound know-how that you'll achieve with the breakdown of the Kettlebell Warrior 30-Day Challenge itself with a willingness to make the type of sacrifices on a daily basis to get where you want to go. To do that though, a large part of the battle is simply knowing how to get out of your own way. And in order to do that, here are 6 things that you need to address immediately to keep from holding yourself back in your pursuit of making gains. Mistake number 1, when training with kettlebells, because I feel like they're most synonymous with conditioning, most people make the mistake of using them as a conditioning tool instead of using them with a functional understanding of how best to use weights for the goal of cultivating mass. So moving forward, instead of going super high rep with lighter weights like most do when trying to focus squarely on conditioning and leaning up, stick to the 5 to 20 rep range with your straight sets or circuits while using weights that are moderate to heavy, otherwise known as challenging. This rep range and using these challenging weights offer the type of stress that force the size gains that you're looking for. Mistake number 2, on top of not doing the right rep range with relatively heavy and challenging enough weights, most don't choose the type of higher return on investment multi-joint exercises that stress a greater number of fibers. So moving forward, focus on sticking to a constantly changing array of squats, hip hinges, vertical and horizontal pushes and pulls, single leg exercises, and carry variations. These are the exercises that maximize your training economy and ultimately give your body the best bang for your buck when time is in short supply. Mistake number 3, you're not eating enough. When it comes to gaining lean mass, you've got to remain in a caloric surplus. And when we're talking mass gains, yes, it's important to hit your daily protein goals of roughly 1.75 to 2.25 grams per kilogram of body weight, but I'd argue actually when it comes to building mass, it's more important that you hit your daily carb goals of 7 to 10 grams per kilogram so that you're adequately fueled through your workouts and that glycogen stores are being replenished to help keep you in a more anabolic state. Mistake number 4, and this one kind of piggybacks off of mistake number 1, but deserves its own exclusive mentioning, and that's that most simply aren't giving their targeted muscle the time under tension it needs to stimulate a growth response. The simplest way to fix this is adopting the mindset that you need to train your muscle to the point of muscular fatigue and or failure. Not aerobic fatigue, as we discussed earlier when it comes to conditioning, or on the other end of the spectrum where you're training for maximal strength and get very limited time under tension, but more so to the point where you've stressed muscle to the point that blood lactate buildup, when you're getting burned up and you're kind of reaching close to failure, forces a deterioration in sustainable contraction and forces you to stop the set. Mistake number 5. Many are making poor sleep and overall lifestyle choices that aren't congruent to the goal of building mass that we have at hand. Understand this when it comes to building mass, and this is especially true as we get older, whenever we surpass probably 30 years old. Everything you do, both inside and outside of the gym, from sun up to sun down, will be responsible for either maximizing or minimizing the progress that you make towards your goals. So if you think it's enough to just train hard and train often, but aren't following through outside of that with proper recovery tactics, you're never going to achieve your goals, ever. You must learn to live congruent to your goals. That means you gotta eat right, you gotta ditch, or at the very least, minimize your drinking of alcohol. You gotta get some good sleep, and generally speaking, make good lifestyle choices that show you've got a functional understanding of how to get your house in order. Until you do that, not only will you not make the size gains you're looking for, but you won't attain any sense of true happiness or fulfillment with the whole approach. And lastly, mistake number 6, most simply aren't consistent or persistent enough to see things through to the end. Building muscle naturally, void of any steroids, takes time. So don't beat yourself up if you don't accomplish your goals immediately. Buckle down and focus all of your time, effort, and energy on simply making the best goal-congruent decision that's directly in front of you. Nothing beyond that. If you do that, before you know it, over time, you'll notch enough little wins that yield the type of size gains that you're going for. I'm telling you right now, address all of these mistakes head on, plug yourself into the right path that I outlined for you in the Kettlebell Warrior 30-Day Challenge on the link below, and make it a point to make better overall lifestyle decisions on a more consistent basis, and I promise you'll achieve the lean mass gains you're looking for with kettlebells far sooner than you ever thought possible. Now, enough talking, let's get to that lean mass building kettlebell routine that I promised to you earlier.